Thank you for this opportunity to speak at the ad hoc expert group on conceptual and technical aspects of the tier procedure, 30th session in Budapest. My name is Lance Thompson. I work for the UNEC as well in the trade division. For the UN CEFACT committee, I'm the secretary for UN CEFACT, which is the United Nations Center for Trade Facilitation and Electronic Business. We would have liked to have been there in person. Our apologies. There are a lot of other meetings happening this week and we had to attend to other meetings, but hopefully next time we'll be able to join you, and we work very closely with our colleagues in transport, so we'll be able to follow up with anything afterwards. So just very briefly, a history of UN CEFACT standards in the transport industry. You probably know most of them, the United Nations Trade Data Element Directory and the UN Layout Key document standards, UN Layout Key, which is actually from the 1970s. We have 30 years of message development and increasing implementation of UN EDIFACT messages, and we maintain and develop all of these, but we also work on XML and also data models and international code lists and multimodal reference data models, such as the multimodal transport reference data model, which I'll explain afterwards, and working on current emerging technologies and methodology projects for the industry. So some of the key problems facing the private sector when conducting or supporting international transactions in transport is that there are too many legal requirements still mandating the use of paper documents. There are modal-specific international transport conventions in an increasingly intermodal and synchromodal transport logistics world, multiple regulatory requirements with unharmonized data definitions and exchange protocols. Also, legal goods can be held back at borders or en route by customs, port health, or other cross-border agencies due to unavailable or accurate information at inspection points and lack of pre-arrival accurate targeting information. And then e-commerce is a tsunami of parcels, deliveries, and returns within the industry. Within UN CEFACT, we've been working for years on what's called the buy, ship, pay model, which breaks down the entire supply chain transaction into these three different parts. The ship part, of course, is the movement of the goods, but it can also be the realization of a service. So a sales contract for transport itself can be a buy, ship, pay model, the purchase of the transport service, the realization of the service, and then the payment of the service. But in the means of movement of goods, this covers all of the transport procedures, establishing the transport contract, collect, transport and delivery of goods, providing way-bills, goods receipts, status reports, etc. But it also includes all of the regulatory procedures linked to the movement of the goods. So obtaining the import-export licenses, provide customs declarations, provide cargo declarations, and apply trade security procedures. Our model within UN CEFACT is hierarchical, so it's not a flat data set. I'm sure that you're familiar with this because other data models use the same. So for one master bill, there can be multiple house bills linked to the same master bill. And each house bill could have multiple invoice level information as well. So for any one invoice, for any one master bill, there can be multiple house bills, and any one house bill could group multiple invoices. And in the same way, multiple supply chain transactions on multiple invoices could be grouped together in a single house bill as well. So there's this relationship of multiple to multiple of the data which can be exchanged in the messages. So UN CEFACT has been going through an evolution, or you might call it a revolution as well, working on exchange syntax neutral reference data models. So this is a contextualized business artifact approach to the data. So all of our data in the core component library, which is our data model, it's like a huge encyclopedia of all of the information that could potentially exist in a trade or transport transaction. And the reference data model is like one volume of the entire data model for, in this case, for example, the multimodal transport reference data model. And this allows to have all of the information in context for that one specific use, but it's still related to everything else on our data model, and so there will be direct links to the invoice or to the finance sector or to regulatory procedures. And so this allows us then afterwards, with using these reference data models, to support document-centric or process-driven workflows and APIs. And so we can transport full, complete documents or just snippets of information. And these snippets of information can allow the use of other technologies like Internet of Things with smart containers and also blockchain and the collaboration of multiple actors on the same information. So this is really, in a nutshell, how the multimodal transport reference data model functions. I hope that we'll have the opportunity to join you at one of your future meetings in order to discuss it further and study further how we might be able to work together to support this and all of the other transactions on the supply chain. And if you're available the last week of October, 28th October to the 1st of November, we will have our forum in London. This will group together all of our experts and advance all of the work that we're doing. I wish you a very successful event in Budapest and look forward to meeting you at the next time. Thank you very much.